Apologize is your father. I apologize
All the brothers
for all the things that we neglected.
raised over by your mothers. I apologize.
I apologize.
All
I
fathers
apologize as your father.
who were not there. I apologize.
I apologize
All the
for all the
brothers
things that we neglected to give you
raised over by your mother.
because I didn't stand up when it was time
We
to
did
stand
not
up.
stand up and man up.
And now we find ourselves in a situation
Stand up for
where our
love.
children are left behind. We find ourselves in a
We did not
situation
stand up
where
and man up.
the children are left behind.
Stand up for love. I apologize.
I apologize.
All fathers
I apologize as your
who were
father.
not there. I apologize.
I apologize
All the brothers
for all the things that we neglected
raised
to give
on
you.
by your mothers.
And as I look out the window,
We
I see you brothers walking down the street.
Man up.
I look through my mind's eye, and I see that it's difficult to compete with the negativity and the systems that are destroying us and bringing us down as a young group of people. When you look at the young brothers,
Women have the power to transform this world. We can end crime and violence if we all agree to do one thing: share. Let's share our wisdom, share our time, share our talents, share our finances, but most of all, let's share our love. This is the female solution.
Well, good Friday, happy Friday, good morning, and good morning. It is truly my honor and, as always, such a pleasure for me to be here at the Female Solution, here to talk to you today from Coffee Break for Senabella, from Senabella. I am Senabella. It's hard for me to say who I am than it is for me to write it. But it's lovely to see you here. As for all of you who come into the room and share with me this hour, thank you and welcome back, and continue to come and share and to be here and to share with people that you know. I have a lot on my heart this morning. I have wonderful guests that's coming in the room, and she's going to share with me her last 10 years, I think, or more, that she's been working to help us to understand what's happening with our lost children. But before we get to anything super heavy, let's come into the room the way that we come into the room here at Coffee Break with Senabella. And I'm going to start off with my morning mantra. I want to wake up feeling beautiful, and I want you to join me and sing along and just vibe with me. I want to wake up feeling beautiful. 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 Beautiful, beautiful. I want to wake up feeling 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 beautiful. So beautiful, beautiful. I want to wake up with the sun in my eyes and joy in my heart. I want to wake up feeling beautiful. I want to wake up feeling beautiful. So beautiful, beautiful. So beautiful, beautiful. So beautiful, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Yes, that's where we are, and this is where we are. Welcome to Coffee Break in the Morning with me, Senabella. Thank you so much. Today's topic is one that is going to stretch your mind and your heart, and it's going to ask of you to think about what it is you say and do and how you feel about what's going on in your community as it relates to the crimes that are going on. One of the biggest pieces on our plate these days in our communities across America is human trafficking and the loss of our children, and in some cases, our adult children, and some mothers and fathers. I don't want to take it lightly. I don't want you to take it lightly. I want you to know that this is something that we have to come to heed the call. We have to pay attention to what's happening here. And if we don't do it, we're going to find ourselves reckoning with it. And although we may have begun to reckon with it, we have not taken the proper steps to do what we need to do to pay attention so that reckoning with it does not wreck us. How's that? So I have today with me a guest. Her name is Jazzie, No Nonsense, the poet. She's an award-winning poet. She is a promoter. She's done many things that she does to promote and to build her community in Detroit. And she moves around the states and she talks to people about this here thing that has become her advocacy, what's most close to her heart. So bringing to the stage, I want you to help me to welcome to the stage, Jazzie, No Nonsense, the poet. Good morning, Jazzie.
Good morning. You're the jazzy one. I was like singing all that jazz. All right now.
Yes, that's my thing.
Sounded great. Yes.
Thank you. I guess it's kind of unexpected. We haven't talked about that side of my life because I'm so interested in finding out about what's happening on your side of your life.
Yeah.
And then
we didn't talk about that singing.
Okay. Coming your way soon.
Yes. Senabella.
I do my thing. But,
right.
my thing too, right? Living out of my heart. I'm living in the lockbox that's in my head.
Okay.
Things that have been stored that I have concerns about. Things that I've been made aware of.
Yes.
I want to know.
Yes.
And as soon as I saw you and met you, it's been a couple of weeks now?
Yes.
When I met you, it was like I was stimulated by your aura.
Thank you.
And I said to myself, who is this sister? And so I said that Callahan did it best. He put together a beautiful event that brought up so many important individuals into the room, a fashion show to highlight the human trafficking.
Yes.
And that's why I showed up. I was like, oh my God, I have to go and support I Said It Callahan. So big ups to I Said It.
Big ups, I Said It.
You know it. And Jazzie was in the room and you were moving around like what they call sort of like the boss. But the truth, you were moving around. And I said, she's not keeping still. That means she's used to doing things herself.
Right. Yeah.
So you were checking the scene out to see almost like, well, what can I do?
Right.
How can I do it? Right.
Right. Yeah. That's true. That is true.
And so I was like, okay, let's make sure, we know what's up, so I just watched you. And when he called you up and I thought you were just going to come up and rap or something like that and do poetry, but it was much more serious than that.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And I used that whole evening to follow you and everything else was going on because spiritually I knew something was happening that I needed to align myself to.
Yes.
And I said to you, hey, can I speak with you and possibly have you come on my show? And you very graciously said yes. I think you are really a remarkable woman, like I said, I've just met you, but in our conversations via telephone, it's been really just spirited. You
Yes,
share things with me, and I don't want to belabor this because there's something much more important than just us chatting. Why don't we start with, who is Jazzie No Nonsense, the poet, and how did she get into this here labor of love about human trafficking, and where did it start at?
Okay. Well, Jazzie was created when she was 18. Just Jazzie was created when she was 18. And then throughout the years, she acquired No Nonsense the Poet back probably in 2014 when she was moving into another genre of life. She had left healthcare, where she was at before, entertainment. And she's always been a poet since she was born. But, you know, when you grow up, some of those dreams and some of those talents go dormant and you forget about them. And so she was rebirthed, I would say, like in 2014, 15, that Jazzie No Nonsense the Poet was born. The whole Jazzie No Nonsense the Poet was born. And since then, she has been growing and growing and growing into her purpose, And one of her purposes started in 2019 with the movie Snatched, which is now called Snatchers. And I just want to tap back in on that title. The reason why I changed the title from Snatched to Snatchers, I made a movie called Snatched in 2019. And the reason why I wrote that movie, well, I'm gonna go back to what I said. Now the narrative, the movie is called Snatchers now, is because I'm changing the narrative to put the spotlight on the kidnappers, on the snatchers, instead of the victim. The first movie was about the victim, but now I think we need to spotlight who we need to look out for in these streets. What kind of people, what kind of aura, what kind of energy that they bring, and when to put your shields up. And the reason why I wrote this movie is because it's all from God. It's all from God. It's my first movie I ever wrote. I have been with another film crew before Snatched. I was in some other things before. And then once I left that team, I was on my own. And once I became on my own, I said, what do you do now? And God gave me the revelation to write the movie Snatched. And so I wrote it. I sat there, like I told Senabella in our conversations. I sat there and thought about it. He told me what to write about. And in an hour, Snatch was born. And
No.
So
go ahead, please. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. And so I wrote it, and you know, God is always in the mix. I didn't even have a crew to film it. I didn't have actors. I didn't have anything but a script, and barely had any money. Okay. Okay. So the budget was small. Everything was nothing. There was nothing. There was nothing tangible but the script. So throughout my journey, meeting people, I started calling people up, people who could help me, support me, and they did. And my family, I want to say big shout out to the Nelson family, because most of the people that's acting in that movie are my family members. Their houses, their locations. I called them up and they delivered. Getting
some resources, you went for it, right?
Yes.
How do I make this fundable? Keep it practical, fundable, speak to the subject, which yes. I want to say I did go on YouTube and watch the movie.
Yes.
So go ahead. I'm going to let you keep talking. Go ahead. I'll tell you.
And so throughout the movie, as I was making it, you know, the energy of the movie, it was just like, it was something, you know, some things in your soul just got to be done. You just can't leave stuff on the floor until it's done. And now that was back in 2019, and now we're in 2025, I have did a lot of things in between these years. But one thing has never left is me being an advocate for human trafficking. And that's my number one passion right now is human trafficking, no matter anything else, because God put me on this path and I can't leave it. I can't leave it. I can't leave it.
You shared with me in one of our conversations that there was something that you feel that it came out of. It was a situation with your daughter. And
yes.
You realized that took place for some reason. So why don't you share that a little bit?
Okay, when I was a young teen, about 17, because I was a teen mom. And on this particular day, I was being a foolish teen mom. And my brother was 11 at the time, and my daughter was around 6 or 7 years old. And so I had my little boyfriend over at the house, you know, and me and him got into an argument. And I want to really relay this story on how foolish things we do that can have, you know, catastrophic endings, you know. So think, you know, this is all about being aware of everything that you're doing, staying aware, being alert of yourself and what you're doing as well. And this is one of the things. So I ran out, he left out, we got in a little argument and he left out walking and I went tracing behind him. And this was like at 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. So it's dark time. And the area that I used to live in was like a wooded area, okay, woods everywhere. And so when I got back, they were gone. My little brother and my daughter were gone. I done searched the whole house and I'm looking up under the bed. I'm like, oh my God, I'm thinking they hiding. They're gone. I'm like, oh my God, the kids are gone for real. And so now I'm like frantic. I get out, I go out to the block. I'm looking, I'm knocking on people's door. I'm frantic. I'm looking for the kids. Now I got the block outside. They out looking. We haven't found the kids. An hour has went past. I'm like, oh my God. And so my mother, she's at work. And I'm like, oh my God, once I call her, all hell gonna break loose, right? So I did hear a baby crying down the street, but the house that I heard the baby, they had just had a baby. So I just threw that house off like, nah, that's their baby. But so I had to go back home and I had to call the police because I didn't find them. So I went back. When I called the police, lo and behold, when the police pulled up, thank God, the kids were in the car with the police. That house that I heard the baby crying was my baby crying. And they had called the police simultaneously with me. So the police came, brought the kids back. But those 2 hours of my life, I will never, ever forget. And like I told Senabella, I think that was a catapult to this. So when the download came to me, those feelings of like, you had that feeling, even though you were blessed to have your children come back to you, you know that feeling. And you know what kind of passion it's going to take to get this message across, because you've been there. But you had a good ending, but you have been there. And so that's what I think that really, that's why he said, you know, go this way.
You were blessed that the people called.
Yes.
And
they could have kept them.
Yeah, and brought your attention to it. Just recently, I was looking at YouTube. I'm on YouTube quite a bit.
Okay.
And there was this here movie, and it was about no, it wasn't YouTube. It was I want to get to the right note and say it. There was this here situation where there was a post, and it showed people in the neighborhood who had called the police to say that a child was missing, right? And the police said that they were coming. So when they saw the police come, the police went to a house, and the house had a fence around it. And I'm going to find that on YouTube and make sure I make it available for people to see it. Everybody started running out their door for some reason in this neighborhood, right? And run to the fence, and they noticed policemen with guns and stuff go into this house And so somebody went in and over the fence and saw them, and they saw blood everywhere and kids in handcuffs. And the policeman warned them to get away and get out. And the police vans were pulling up and taking the kids out the back with handcuffs on and putting them in the van. And people said, and all the neighborhoods start saying, there go the kids, there go the kids, there go the kids. Now, this is all post meeting you. It's like everything is popping up in my whole world around human trafficking. Then Megan Good did a movie, and I saw it yesterday too after I watched your movie, Snatched. Let me first just go back to that. So I watched Snatched, and it's probably the shortest, most valuable piece of information that you can get. And it is exploratory for me because it's the conversations that we should have.
Right.
We should be talking about how to protect our communities.
Yes.
And where do we start at with that, Jazzie? I mean, from what I saw in the movie, it starts right with your own family.
Yes.
And how do we assume responsibility for what happens that causes our children to become so easily taken? Let's talk about those two things. Two things right now, I think we might have to have you back, but those two things to me are the premise of great concern to me.
Yes. Well, far as in the home, we have a lot of dangers in the home for some children, which is sad. And sometimes they are, what's the word I'm looking for? Groomed in the home. Sometimes they're groomed in the home where it makes it easier for them to be trafficked out in the street. Mm. So as parents,
when you say, I have to, how are they groomed in the home? Can you just define that a little better?
Sometimes you have molesters living right in the home, just like the little girl. What about 6-8 months ago? The boyfriend was in there raping her all those years and then killed her. That's what I'm talking about. Sometimes it's right in the home. They're being groomed in the home. So once they get out in the street, anybody can take them. Anybody. That's their normal life.
So you're saying we're not paying attention to the real trauma that's created in our home.
Yes. That's one of the reasons.
Such a easy picking when they are out on their own in the street, because they have decisions, and we assume that our children are a certain age and that they can do certain things safely because they know how to go down to the store or come back, and we assume that they're going to obey us because I had Asada Kirkland on here, Beating Black Kids author, and she was saying that all of the other pervasive things that ends up happening to our children or what they mentally feel and think about themselves. So now they become subject to more problems, right?
Yes.
Because they don't have a source where they can go and talk. One of the things that you did in your movie, Snatched on YouTube, folks. You got to go to YouTube. Jazzie knows no nonsense. The poet. Go to her page, see the movie. You'll find it kind of like rough at first, but stay with it. It's a short, dynamic piece. You know, it was her first movie. But man, I'm glad you kept it just the way you did because, but anyway, I forgot my point almost. That
you was about to talk about a part in the movie.
Yeah, in the movie, you show how you go to your family and you say to them, your brother, hey, I haven't even seen my daughter. You've gone around to all the venues where you know that people know your child and know you, and you haven't seen your child, and nobody's paying attention to it the way you're paying attention. They're like, this isn't just a moment. You know, even in the Megan Good movie, she was telling them like, you know, we have our daughter. You don't know our daughter. She wouldn't be doing this. And they're like, they run away and all of that.
Right.
Where was the community at in that? Like, how do you get the community to change their mindset? Because there was a time when a kid could do something and every parent on the block knew and said something about it.
That's right. The only way we have to get our boots back on the ground because we don't have that village anymore. We don't have that same community. We don't have those same grandparents We don't have the same mothers today that we had when we grew up as Generation X children or baby boomers. We don't have that stable village anymore. So we have to go a different route now. We have to go a different route because today neighbors don't talk no more.
They fight.
Right.
They fight, they judge.
Right. They judge, they fight, they in competition.
And our neighbors are really our family, whether they want to be or not. They're the people you see every day.
And those are the ones who right next door, who can watch your home, who can watch your car, who can watch your children. They more than your family. They're going to see you more than your family, your neighbors are.
That's my point.
And since that is broken.
Right. We're not cultivating that relationship. So keep going. Go ahead.
So yeah, since that is broken, now we have to really step out into the community. Like for instance, I had, in order to get to Chicago, I had a fish fry that when people came up to the stand, we talked about human trafficking. That's what it was all about. We had brochures to give out, you know, bands to say, stay alert, stay away, to keep it on your mind, to keep you walking in happiness, but also aware. Also aware, always to be aware of your surroundings or whatever you're doing.
So we almost hamper people to have relationships and conversations around things that matter. There's so much emotional and mental illness in our communities coming out of our home. Higher Learning said, home is often where the hell starts, and we don't have the mental or emotional skills to cope. Thank you for sharing this information. You're right. Yes. It is where it starts. It separates us. We get separated and sorted at home.
Everything starts at home. Everything.
So then we're separated and sorted at home, Jazzie, right? Mm-hmm. And we go from that to the street where we're separated further and sorted out. We're defined from one point to the next point. We're not taking accountability. We have this assumption that when a person dresses nice and
they're a good person,
they're good people to work with, and they're okay. And that means you got to wear your mask like the Savant does on Instagram. This young man who's a Savant, his name is Savant, and he has problems, and he masks mentally when he goes out so he can pretend like people can't see him.
Wow.
Because he has a condition, right? So let's say we all have a condition and we are all wearing a mask. I'm not going to tell you that I have not been subject to wearing a mask. I have. I remember very clearly walking out the door, hoping nobody saw me, and would just walk straight forward because there was a problem being a good-looking girl in communities and period. To this day, I still go out and don't really want to be seen. Sometimes I don't want to be, and somebody will say, "Oh, the Brownsville Diva," and I'm like, "Okay, fine," you know, or Senabella, and I'm hoping it's a friend. When you've been harmed, you do separate, you do mask. Now it's so much to this conversation, we can't stay there. But the truth is that we are at least laying the foundation for why we have to begin to take responsibility for what it is we've done to our families. And
sometimes
easy children and our families, aunties, uncles, everybody, because now everybody getting snatched. And we don't know if they're being snatched to go to farms now, human trafficking, being deported somewhere else. We don't know what's going on. They're like
to be slaves, to be organ donors. You know, it's so many reasons that they're snatching people today. That's why it's at any age, it's for anything, you know. So don't think because you're a certain age, you're a certain gender, that it can't happen to you.
Yeah.
Because you might be the snatching, they might need a madam to run stuff. You never know. You never know why they do what they do, why these evil people do what they do. So it's all about all of us. It's not just about the children. You see young women going to work, never to return home. You know, you got to watch your internet. You got to watch all those things who tracking you, because today it's so easily to find people. It's so easy. You got the tracking on your phone. They got spyware in your car.
You know what's worse is we don't communicate with each other.
Yeah.
So someone can be missing longer than you know.
Yes.
And only because you're I'll call next week, or I'll call in a month.
Yeah.
People say, "Oh, I miss my kids." Well, your kids may not have called you for 3 months, but you may be somewhere in hell, Arizona, in a camp, in a bunker somewhere, and they wouldn't know it. We have people we think that are just homeless. They're not just homeless; they're gone.
Yeah. It was just a young girl, about 12, 13. She's been missing for 2 months, and they just put it out. Parents, I don't know the in between of why they just found out she was missing for 2 months. Because I believe why, because some parents are so clueless to what their kids are doing today. The kid probably came and said, "Hey, Mom, I'm going to spend the night over Lisa's house." And since you so self-involved, she ain't came back in days, but you ain't worried about, because she said she going to spend the night over Lisa's house. And you in your man, I got freedom, I can hang, I can do this, I can do that. And by the time you looking for your daughter, she gone.
So let's talk about what has given children this wonderful open communication with your family, right? Let them say whatever they want to say. Let them say how they feel. They need to be able to express themselves. So now they're saying everything but the right things. Or they're telling people everything about what their homes are, making it easy for them to be taken advantage of. One of the things in your movie, too, that it points out, your girlfriend, who you call auntie, can be the madam who got your friends who down at the bar, she paid to snatch your children and then act like they don't know where they at because they making money, because they figure that's quick, fast money. So that's the thing, folks.
Yes.
Quick, fast money, and it's in every neighborhood across America.
Yes.
It's not just the people that you hear about doing the Epsteins and the P. Diddy's and all of the people that you say in the big. And I'm not saying P. Diddy did or didn't do it. I don't know if they found him guilty or not. The names that come up, his mother and all these people, they weren't the only ones. You just have to be realistic about it.
No.
It's people that you know who, just like it was people who you knew who were in your home, who took advantage of your children or yourself, right? It's the husbands that leave the families. It's the women that leave the families. Everybody is leaving their families subject to harm. What do we do about that? I want to hear somebody comment about that. Somebody tell me, share with us something about that. Like, we're not off fringe. Everybody's been somewhere. All over the world it's happening.
All over the world it's happening. And how
do we protect our families and our neighbors? Let's go.
Only way you can protect your family is be a real person, a real loving, caring, God-fearing person. If you're not that person, and if your life is not geared to raising great citizens, if you're not on that path, I don't know what you're doing. Because one thing that I do know, if you don't raise your children right, they'll be a thorn in your side forever. And so if you don't want your children a thorn in your side forever, to be like a burden on you, because children can become a burden if you don't raise them right.
Even if you raise them right, they still can be. They're going to be.
That's what I'm saying. So if you really going to the left, you in trouble.
Right, they're becoming real human beings, adult human beings who have thoughts and feelings themselves. And when we're young or when we're having our children, we're not thinking about it the same way. And so what we have to say today here is that we got to bring value back to life.
Yes.
We've got to bring value back to family and community. And communities have to open their eyes and say something out their mouths and take responsibility for what they see, and stop acting like you're afraid to say, you know what, that's wrong. Or why are you doing that? And is that
they act like they're afraid of the kids.
Right. Is that your kid? You know,
like what?
We're
not afraid of the kids. The kids want discipline. They want love. Kids want, no matter how they say they don't want it. If you don't show children discipline, they think you don't love them. If you don't correct children, they think I can do whatever I want because nobody gives a rap. When you show them discipline, that's when they know they love me. They don't want to see me fall on the ground.
Well, it's obvious that our whole society needs complete correction.
Right, overall.
I mean, we do. We need complete correction. What are we responding to? What are we reacting to? Where have we wasted our time and money?
Trying to make money, chasing the almighty dollar. Everybody think that the almighty dollar is the thing, but it's not.
It's not
The thing is your family, because money come and go every day of the week. Money come and go every day of the week. But your child is not a commodity. Your child is not a commodity that you can think about when you want or chastise when you want. That's an every day, every day, every day, every day. The money can be here, the money can be there, but your child is still there. So while people chasing money.
How do we take accountability?
How do we take accountability? We got to sit ourselves down and say, look, and look all the way in the inside of ourselves, like what I did to take accountability for my actions. First of all, I had to deal with my trauma first, right? And how I dealt with some of my trauma was, it was always when I got into situations, I hadn't fully grown up, right? So the little girl would come out and she always had attitude or something, you know. I hadn't put her to rest yet, the little girl in me. Mm-hmm. So she would, you know, she didn't know how to react to everything. So I had to talk to her and say, you're dead. I'm a grown woman now, and I'm going to act as a grown woman, and I'm going to hold my accountability on everything I do, not blaming anyone for things that I have done, but also forgiving people who I think have done me wrong and letting it go. Even if they don't know I forgave them. So I know I did.
So here's where I draw a little concern, even with, while you're dealing with who you are, there's still things going on. Through the process of accountability, there are actions you have to take. And it is about making sure you're stable enough in order to secure other things. Yes. So how long can we linger in self-definition and healing before we look at what's going on right in front of us? And what
your healing is an everyday thing. It's not a never stopping process. You just get stronger and stronger. And you know how once you start holding accountability, you know how to train your brain. And once you train your brain to certain thoughts and triggers, you know how to react to those things. And that's a daily process, because your brain is always going and it's always triggers. But when you train your brain to hear those triggers and say, no, thought, go away. I'm going to think on something positive. I'm going to think on this, or I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. I'm not going to, you know, your brain starts to change, and it's a daily thing. It's not something that stops. It ain't going to stop till you die.
Okay.
As long as you're trying to make yourself better every day, because you're going to have thoughts and you're going to have your senses and you're going to have all these things coming your way all the time, but you always got to be aware.
So what can a community do? What are some of the steps that you've provided that helps your community heal and begin to take action to pay attention to the loss of members in your family and in your community family that have kept them safer? What are some of the steps you've taken?
Some of the steps that we're taking is, like, we're speaking and talking. Some of the steps are going to safety classes, learning how to protect yourself, carrying legal weapons to protect yourself, not walking alone, not walking at night, not even walking in more than just Tuesdays. You need to be in 3 and 4 in groups, real life groups today. Someone need to be tracking you. Your parents should be able to track you to see where you're at through the day. And when you're walking through the street, if you're catching a bus, and you have to be walking, if you feel, always listen to your gut. Always listen to your gut and your intuition. Those are real things. And if something make your hair stand up on your arm, recognize it. Don't think like you got, like, I don't want this person to think I'm afraid of them. Oh, if you feel afraid, run. If you feel something move, don't ignore that feeling. Like, you know, it's something feel off here. I think I need to leave this room. I think I need to walk away from this bus stop. And one thing, never turn your back on people. Never turn your back, especially if you feel something. Don't say, oh, I'm gonna just keep on walking in front of them. No, turn around. See who's behind you. See who's behind you. And there's a lot of things. See, people, they work in 2s and 3s. You might see one person trying to get your attention, but the other culprit over there doing something to get your attention. So now they, so that's why you got to be aware. Because like, I remember I was on a bus when I was young. I was on a bus, me and my girlfriend. It's my first time going to the mall, to the Northland Mall. My mother let me go for the first time. I was like 13, 14 years old. So I'm on a bus now. My friend, she was like 2 or 3 years older than me, so she knew about the bus. So this guy was on there playing 3-card Molly, right? So he playing, and I'm like, he let me win before I put the money down, right? He let me win before I put the money down. And so another guy came in and he let that guy win. And he was like, yeah, go on and put the money down. So I put like $110. My mother gave me like $70 to go to the mall. So I put like $110 down. He let me win it. So he let the other guy win it too. So now he like, all right, you want to roll, right? I'm like, cool. So he's like, I put like all my money down, like 50, because now he didn't let me win. Bam. As soon as I put all that money down, he played the real game and took all my money, right? So when I got off the bus, he got off the bus and his partner got off the bus with him. They were working together. And my friend told me, she said, look, don't play that game. They just trying to juke you. And I'm like thinking I know everything and still play. But those two guys were working together. One was the plot guy was saying like, you can win, do it. And the other one had the card. So I'm saying people be working together on things. That's why you have to sometimes be trying to get your attention to snatch your purse in the back. That's what I'm saying. You know, sometimes a guy may be trying to holler at you, thinking you cute and all that, but the other one trying to stab you in the back and knock you out. Don't never think you too cute to watch your surroundings. Because a lot of women out here think they so cute that, oh, no, you can be too. That's what I'm saying. Some people work together. Sometimes it's not just one. It's not just one. It could be two people on the street working together.
Right. I'm always aware of my surroundings. And let me tell you something. If somebody is looking at me a certain way, I can feel it from behind. I just turn.
You see?
You know, if somebody is paying attention to me, I just look straight at them. And I say, hey, how you doing?
Acknowledge them, please. Yes.
I mean, this is such a deep conversation. It's much deeper than we're just surface level right now.
Oh, yes.
We're surface level.
Because we hadn't even got into.
I'm going to say this. Here where I live, when I first moved here, brand new building, everything was just so perfect and wonderful. All of a sudden, I started hearing a woman scream. And I came out of my place and I walked down the hall and I knocked on the door. Like, are you okay? And she was still screaming. And I'm like, oh my God. And it was so shrill, I could hear throughout the whole floor. And it's like 20 apartments on one floor, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to go in my apartment and say, well, you know, but I couldn't. So I'm banging on the door. And now I got my bat. Because clearly something's not right.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm speaking from the voice of community today. And this is a part of it, the trauma, how we've been traumatized, even as neighbors, to not want to involve ourselves in things we see. Sometimes we don't have to approach it physically, but we do need to call police. We need to do other things. For me, that day led to me having to redo that same scene over 3-4 times in the same building with 4 other women.
Wow.
The girl was being beaten so badly by her boyfriend, and her shrills were so loud. I literally recorded it, called the police so many times that by the time the police did come, it was because I said to them, does she have to die before you show up? What will it take for her to get some help? I mean, I stayed on it so much to the point that I'm at the door with my bat telling the guy, look, you need to come on out. So I walk away, something that tells me to walk away. So I walk back to my space. He hears my door shut. He jumps and runs out and goes down the steps. And he takes the steps down and out the building. And part of me wants to run after him with the bat and just beat him up.
Right.
But the other part is like, go check on her. And when I opened the door, this poor baby was sitting in a chair, like literally in a chair, like she would have been on punishment. And her forehead was the side of one of those ducks that have the big Bill,
Yeah.
and she was swollen and had blood, and her arms were swollen and bloody. And I'm thinking to myself, oh my God. So of course I put my attention to her. Then I tell her, come go with me. I take her out of her place. I bring her into my place. I call the police. And as I call them, they're pulling up and with an ambulance. And the horrific day for her and that individual ended. You know, he ended up going, you know, being picked up and stuff. And she found out he's bipolar. She said she found out from his mother that day he was bipolar. So we don't even know who we take up with.
Right. A lot of women today, I don't know what's going on, where they bring strangers into their home and let them watch their kids. And I don't understand that. You know, they've been knowing a guy 30 days, 2 weeks. Now they done met the kids and you don't know what's going on with this man.
I'm going to go back to your movie. In the movie, something as simple as taking a drink from somebody else.
Yes. And now that's why they have, hold up, I'll be right back.
Okay, she left. And I'm going to run to commercial real quick and pay tribute.
Right. I want to show the ladies this right here.
Okay.
This right here. This is free fentanyl testers. I carry these around. If I'm going to drink, or if I'm going to be somewhere, or if I feel like something happened with my drink, this is a free fentanyl tester right here that they give around the city of Detroit. They have booths around the city of Detroit where you can get free fentanyl testers if you're ever out drinking or you just want to, you know, stay safe. So if you see these around your city, go right in and grab you some of these free fentanyl test strips, because that is one way that they're snatching people quickly by putting stuff in your drink. Now this is Narcan. This is Narcan. Now, if you're out there drugging and stuff like that, I like to keep stuff on me like this in my car, just in case I'm around somebody who passes out from an overdose. You just never know where you're going to be, you know, when it's time and maybe you need to save a life and jump in. And so many people are, you know, overdosing on fentanyl and young people like that. So I keep these things on me. And I would say that, you know, everyone, you know, needs this. If you are a person who like to go out to clubs and hang out, you know, and stuff like that, keep these on you. If they got them in your city, around, that's free. When you see them, get them out, throw them in your car. Whenever you feel like you need one, there it is, free fentanyl test strips, okay? So, because that is a part of the movie Snatch, where the man, he poisoned her drink and he walks her straight out the club and no one noticed, because it's a bar. No one noticed that
they're carrying her out because she's completely out, and it's two guys. And the normality is that we're so used to just seeing things that we don't pay attention to, right, that they're happening readily in front of our eyes.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, right in front of our eyes, our babies, our children, our neighbors, our futures are being taken away from us. We're paying attention to so much crap.
Yeah.
We're allowing ourselves to be induced with this here political arena, so much so that we're forgetting that there are some real life circumstances around that fight. They're having that fight. It is about the things we're talking about, but nobody's talking about what do we need to do to stop it, to keep it from happening. How do we protect ourselves? As this world goes into crash, more and more of this is becoming substantive to each and every one of our lives.
Yes. We've been desensitized to so many things that when we hear about bad things, it's like, okay, it wasn't me, so keep on going on with your day.
How many people in here that's here today who can tell me that you know of somebody who had somebody who went missing? I know Tony Elliott Bell, a sister that I know who is a vocalist and a teacher. She trains children. One day she put up, I never thought I would have this post, my daughter's missing. Help me find her. I don't know what to do. And everybody in our feed started going out to the street looking for this daughter, only to find that her daughter did suffer with some type of condition and just went blank and went off for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not the normality.
Nope.
And here Sherry Lynn says, bipolarity. I took up with a guy and I fell into a relationship because I couldn't read the signs. It took till he died till I was free of his crazy. Never thought it could happen to me. That's just the absolute truth.
Right.
We don't know. We don't have a test kit for these guys.
No, we don't.
One for us either.
No. But what we do have is common sense. And what we do have is red flags. And what we do have is trying to get somebody to know them longer instead of, putting somebody in your group so fast. I've always been a woman of a 90-day woman, like a job. Because in those 90 days, I can probably see if you're on drugs.
Mm-hmm.
I can see how you handle your business.
Mm-hmm.
I can see how you tend to me in those 90 days. And if those 90 days ain't flowing with me, you pushing on just like a job.
Can I tell you this? I got you in the first week. From
I know that's right.
Baby, it don't take a long time.
We got to stop being so hungry for love. So hungry for love.
We got to define whether we want to have sex or we're trying to have love. And
say that.
You can have a safe partner for sex and don't have to have a relationship. I'm just going to say it again. Other Christians and people may not agree. But
I mean, it's better than doing crazy stuff.
Partner for sex and not be, if that's all you want to do.
We know fringe benefits. We know what that is.
Right, I'm just saying, but there are a lot of lack of benefits in everything. And so is there such a thing as a safe partner? I guess that's a question for men and for women, because there's no way to engage sexually and not get caught up. There's a whole lot to everything. But
yes,
let's stay on point because I believe every community across America in every neighborhood needs to formulate watch groups to take care of each other. We need to become more conscious and have conversations with our neighbors, families, and friends. I personally, since that one situation, had 3 other young women who had the same on my floor. And I was like in shock. And I remember calling my family and saying, I can't believe that I'm rescuing young women on my floor. And the consciousness that it raised in me was so high. I'm thinking, how is this happening around me? It does not have a place where it cannot find a domain.
You know what? Some things are just brought to you.
And let me say something. Also, when you're speaking to people, you get a good sense of who you are. And
yes.
When you deny yourself speaking and looking straight to people's faces, you don't know who's around you. And so you don't know when you turn the corner, they got a car, like you said, around that corner waiting for you. You don't know why you're subject for that.
Yeah.
And you're not in touch with anyone. I remember one of my sisters who passed, she and I spoke to each other every morning. She knew when I was leaving to work, when I got back, we talked all the time. What are our mechanisms of safety? It can't be with just one person either.
No.
You can be married. It can happen to your husband, then what do? You could be married, it can happen to your wife, then what do you do? Let's read what Serenity Faith is. Good morning, Abantu. I see you. Let me say, she says, great day, all. People are coming in and saying hello, and I want to make sure we acknowledge them. Serenity, what do you see? She says, I can relate to the challenges of navigating the evolving dynamics between parents and their children today. It's a complex journey that requires us to prioritize communication, also keeping Yahweh at the forefront of our lives. As parents, we are aware there's no playbook on how to raise children effectively. However, it's essential to establish firm foundations rooted in faith and values if we want to raise resilient and responsible individuals. I have noticed a concerning trend. Speak more to that trend, Serenity. What is that trend? What is the trend? And that's it. We do see things, but we're not doing anything about it.
The trend is these parents is off the rails. And just like she said, children have to be rooted in faith, in the Holy Spirit, because even though I always say this to people, your child may, even though you may bring them up right and do all this, they may go off the rails, but that root always brings them back. Most of the time, they don't go off too far. Because when they see they going off the limb, they be like, whoa, wait a minute, I know about this. Let me step back. Let me step back. Or you got a support team that pulls you back. That say, wait a minute, you going somewhere you shouldn't go. Let me help pull you back. That's that real family that see you going off the rails and pull you back.
And back in the day, because it was so prevalent for our people to be snatched, taken, killed, and we were so clear about it before we thought we were doing so much better, we had all these guardrails up.
Yes.
The reason why men who are Black had to live with women when they came in towns, because they offered them rooms and they started having sex and having babies. Let's just talk about the real root of how we became who we are.
Yes.
But we dropped all those guardrails because we thought somehow we were doing better. And now we find that we're not better.
Nope.
We're not better. It's not about could we go and eat with the white folk. It's not about whether we were being accepted by the Hispanic folk. It wasn't about what church we were in. It wasn't about any of that. At the end of the day, it came down to that even though you said you believed in God, you stopped caring about what God provided for your own safety.
Yes.
We don't even know how to pray or what to pray for.
Nope.
Trinity,
Because
we don't know.
you know what? When you're grateful for everything, see, people are not grateful today. They're not grateful for breathing. They're not grateful for having more than 10 pair of shoes. They're not grateful for being able to start up their car. They're not grateful for the simple things in life that we deal with every day. And when you come back to the basis of being grateful and being gracious, have God have given you mercy every day, even to have on this shirt, even for me to have this hair, these lashes, all those things are luxury. And when you realize that, when you realize that that God has blessed you so much, that car accident you didn't die in, that leg you broke and you didn't go paralyzed, all of those things, they're not aware of those things at the base level. At the base level. People don't even know that they're living in abundance. Abundance of living to me is having more than one. If you have more than one of something, you are living in abundance. If you have a cell phone, you are living in abundance. If you have 10 cans of canned food in your cabinet, you are living in abundance. There's people out there in the world who are worried about the next piece of bread that they're going to eat right now. And you got a whole loaf. But you complaining all the time. I don't have this. I don't have that. But you have more than most. Most people's lives are great and they don't even know it. That's why they're not paying attention. That's why they're not staying alert, because they don't even know that they have greatness already.
Let me say this. You see a lot of people who have a lot of wealth who dress worse than those who have nothing.
Yes.
Because they realize the abundance of monetary, physical things are not the priority to their well-being, healthy, wise, whatever, grow old, happy together. And you can take your family on a million vacations and never have the right conversation. I'm going to say this because we're coming to a close of time. It's 58 minutes into the hour. I've not even had but one commercial I'm going to show before I leave. But Jazzie the Poet, WHPR TV Detroit Live. You can join her on Facebook, YouTube. What other mediums?
You can see me on WHPR Detroit Live at 10 a.m. on Wednesday with Billy Eat Jones Show. You can follow me on all my social media, Jazzie No Nonsense Support. Make sure y'all go to Amazon Prime and go check out my movies I got there called Regret. And I have a comedy show called Love and Laughter. Comedy show is only $1.99 to rent and $4.99 to buy. You're going to want to buy because you're going to want to watch it again, okay?
Yeah. So you're doing things to Serenity says, look, first of all, Serenity is talking today. She said, absolutely. Yes. Amen, sister, be grateful. Thank you, Jazzie. And yes, it is. It's been a pleasure and it's an honor. And you have to come back so we can get into this deeper because
Yes.
we need to start talking about the posts that we need to put up and where and how to do it. So let's come back with some information that we can leave on the table other than just conversation. Let's start giving some guides to that, things that you've done that you've been successful. This sister is the real thing. And, we said, let your mouth, they do say, let your money do the talking, not your mouth. Well, let's our actions do the talking and not our mouths. Let's start looking at curing our community. Charlie Kirk died, and they said he died by how he lived. You spew hate, you die by hate. How about this? We can spew love and still die by hate. Because this is a sick world we live in, and we have to protect ourselves. So let's try to find ways to protect ourselves and get to that space. I want to thank everybody for showing up here today. It's been my pleasure to be here at Coffee Break with Senabella with WHPR TV Detroit Live, Jazzie, No Nonsense, the poet. You all, man, thank you so much. God bless you. Have a great day.
We've come to the end of our show today. If you missed any broadcasts, go to our website for the audio and video archives at www.thefemalesolution.com. On behalf of our team of radio hosts, I'd like to thank all of you who participated in today's discussions. And to our global family joining us from all around the world, we say thank you. To our family in China, xie xie. India, Dhanyavad. Japan, arigato. Korea, kamsamnida. Russia, spasiba. Germany, danke. Poland, dziękuję. France, merci. Spain, gracias. Italy, grazie. Egypt, shukran. Ghana, madasi. Nigeria, eshe. South Africa, ngiyabonga. Senegal, jareh. Kenya, asante. Israel, toda. Pakistan, shukriya. Afghanistan, tashakur. Saudi Arabia and Palestine, shukran. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you, and may peace be upon you and the mercy of God and God's blessings.